Today I have another semi-festive makeup tutorial for you all. You really liked my last one, and so I thought I would just sit down and just kind of play around. I've really been wanting to use this Marc Jacobs palette for ages. I've had it for months. It's the Scandalous palette, and so I'm using this on my eyes today. I use all of the shades in here, and yeah, it's just kind of like like a cranberry eye with like a pop of peach, kind of. I don't really know how I would describe it, but this is the look. You get the picture, so let's go ahead and start. Starting out with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, I'm using this as my eyeshadow primer, and I will probably continue to use this in videos because it just makes your eyes so smooth and it makes these shadows super vibrant and also helps them last all day. So I'm going to be working from this Marc Jacobs Eyeconic palette. It's called Scandalous, and the first color I'm using is called At the Office. It's kind of like a bone brown color, and I'm just using it as my first transitional shade in my crease. Nothing special here, just a really good base color that you can use in your crease. This is actually something I would use like by itself every single day, so really nice color there. And then I'm using the shade called this one's called That's Why. Sorry, I'm reading just from the back panel here. It's called That's Why, and it's kind of just like that classic warm tone brown that everybody loves. It has a little bit of an orangey tint to it, and I'm using that on a MAC 217 short handle brush, and I'm just applying that basically over where I've already applied the first transitional color. So moving into that vibrant cranberry color, it's called Scandalous, and I'm just applying that really lightly. These shades are super pigmented, so you definitely want to use a light hand with them if you do have this palette. But I'm just applying that really lightly to the outer corner and also in my crease to give a little hint of that just cranberry tone. You can go full on with this if you want something super vibrant, but I wanted to keep it, you know, as wearable and as natural as possible. So I think it blended into those brown shades really nicely. Normally I'm not into pink or cranberry tones like this, but I think all the shades in this palette just work so well together, and I can't believe I haven't used this palette yet. This is an awesome palette. I love all of the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palettes. Dare I say they might be some of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. But moving into the next color, it's called They Call Her, and it's kind of like a shimmery rust color. This was a little bit too rusty for my liking. I know a lot of people like this tone. I feel like where I'm really fair, it kind of gives a sick illusion on my eyes. So I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of another shade that's in the palette. It's called At the Office. This one's called At the Office, and it's just like a really gorgeous kind of shimmering beige peach tone, and I just applied that over the top because I felt like it toned down the rust that was coming through, and I liked the way it looked in the end. So just wanted to tone that down a little bit. I just thought it was too orange for my eyes. Now I'm deepening up the look with a dark brown shade. It's called Little Miss, and again I'm using that on a MAC 217 brush and just applying it mainly in the outer corner of my eyes. I'm kind of going back and forth in the crease with a little bit of the excess, but I really want the drama to be focused on the outer portion of the eyes. And then I just took a clean blending brush and blended out the edges of my eyes to make sure that they were smooth and seamless. I actually went in with the highlighter shade in this palette, and I realized my brush had excess green shadow on it from the last look that I did, and I was like, holy cow, I just messed this up. So my brow bone had a little bit of a green tint. I couldn't get it off no matter what I did. I even applied concealer, but just make sure your brush is clean, you know, and you'll be fine. So now I'm applying a dark brown gel liner. This is just not Maybelline, Loreal Infallible liner in dark brown. and I'm just making a really small line, basically just to conceal my lashes. Again, you guys know me, I'm not into super dramatic winged liner. I'm really not into liner at all on a daily basis. I don't even wear eyeliner, so I just kept this, good lord, I kept this really simple. And for lashes, per usual, the Ardell Demi Wispies, my favorites. These are actually the only lashes that I just realized that I even have in my collection right now. I have no other lashes, so that's why I use them so much. So many people loved that I used the bareMinerals Bare Pro foundation in my last tutorial, so I just decided to kind of keep this look very similar face wise to the last tutorial I did as far as like the base goes. So I'm using the Bare Pro liquid from bareMinerals. My shade is number 9 Light Natural, and I'm just applying that with a beauty blender. Really flawless, full coverage, long wearing foundation. Definitely, in my opinion, more suited to those of you who do have combination oily skin though. For concealer, I'm using again the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. I've been seeing mixed reviews on this, but honestly, if I want a full coverage look, this is like the best concealer I have in my collection right now. And yes, it is super matte, but I don't know, on me, I feel like it doesn't look as bad as like Tarte Shape Tape or any of my other really super matte concealers. So to set that, I'm using the Bare Pro powder in the shade number 3 Champagne, and then to set the rest of my face, I'm using my actual color, which is Light Natural number 9 once again, and I'm just pressing that into my skin to make sure everything is set. Generally, I would not do this much face product, but I don't know. I've just been into fuller coverage lately, I guess because I've been using this foundation. For my contour, I'm using the Physicians Formula, I think, is it called the Bronze Booster Contour Palette, I think. It's basically their matte contour palette, and I just took the contour shade first, and now I'm applying that warmer bronzier shade all over my face, on my forehead, temples. You guys know, like, you know how to apply bronzer. I don't need to sit here and explain it to you. The brushes I'm using are from Japonesque. They're called the Kumadori brushes, I think. Kumadori, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll have them listed down below because so many people always ask me about those brushes. For blush, I'm using my first ever NARS blush. This is such an old product. It's called Sin by NARS, and it's just kind of like a plum tone blush. Looks really fresh on the cheeks. And then for highlighter, I'm using Becca's Moonstone. This really is not my favorite highlighter. You'd think that with me having such fair skin right now, it would really pop. But I don't know. I never feel like this highlighter shows up well on me. Does anybody have Moonstone and feel the same way? Because for as expensive as it is, I just feel like it's very subtle. Then of course, dousing myself in MAC Fix Plus because I am way down with the face products. Then I'm going back into that Marc Jacobs palette, and I'm taking the highlighter shade in there, and I'm applying that to my inner corner. I'm also defining my lower lash line with that kind of orange tone brown, and also mixing a little bit of that first transitional color into it. And I'm pushing that into my lower lash line to give kind of like a smokier illusion, so my eyes aren't so top heavy. And then for liner, I'm using this one from Urban Decay. I think it's called Alkaline. I'll put the for sure name down below. I forgot, but I think that's what it's called, and it's a really pretty kind of plum tone cranberry liner. And to, you know, finish off with some cranberry, I'm using this mascara from Clinique. It's the Chubby mascara, but it's in a cranberry color. I've never used this, and I actually forgot I had it, and it was sitting in front of me while I was doing this tutorial, and I was like, holy cow, that would work perfectly. And moving into lips, the final steps, I'm using NARS El Agua Lip liner, this is kind of like a purplish lip liner. Doesn't really go with a ton of looks, but I thought it complemented this look well. And then for lipstick, I'm using bareMinerals Notorious Gen Nude Lipstick, just kind of like a soft pink with a hint of like a cranberry tone in it. And of course, a little bit of MAC's Boy Bay on top. I use this pretty much on top of any lipstick because it's glossy and gorgeous. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying some of the more fuller coverage festive looks that I'm doing. Let me know if you want to see more, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.